The offensive woes have inflicted both teams tonight, tied up at 13. 13 minutes into the ball game. Both Ball State and Longwood shooting sub 30%. And James Whitford talking to Taylor Persons, Peter, in that last time out.
Frustration certainly on the Ball State sideline with maybe they feel like a lack of fouls being called on the offensive end for the Cardinals, but James Whitford pulled Taylor Persons. He's gone to the rim aggressive a couple of times and hasn't gotten a call, and Coach Whitford was yelling at him to get back defensively and pulled him aside before they got into that last media timeout, and I'm guessing told him guys the same thing, keep playing. Coach Whitford preaches that all the time. You have to play when things aren't going your way on the offensive end.
David, he always says you can't let your offense affect your defense.
Yeah, good bit of coaching right there, and let's see if it makes a difference coming out of this timeout. Allen gets all the way to the rim. Kiapwe's foot feeling better, but that time simply got beat off the dribble by the senior.
It's now 6 for Darian Allen, who started to get more involved. The first 5 minutes of the game really wasn't even getting touches. Sellers froze on a look from 3. But one more to Kiapwe. Turns into another for Sellers. 8 to shoot. Kiapwe rising. Tip back, Moses, no. Loose ball to Mallers, and the Cards do get a second effort. And Lane finally with his rebound.
Another instance where Ball State that time moved the ball terrific around the perimeter. Kiapwe, pretty good look, just didn't fall. Now 0 for 7 behind the arc.
That's 2 games in a row, really, as Allen falls down in the lane. We'll get the travel on him. Sean Sellers was 7 of 10 from 3 in the win over Eastern Kentucky, and that does not look comfortable. Allen will remain in here and walk that off. Sellers was 7 of 10, David, but the rest of the Cardinals were 4 of 23, and today 0 for 7.
Well, one thing Coach Whitford's talked about, he's not worried about this team offensively. Eventually, they'll make shots. They can, I think Peter covered it. You don't want to allow it to affect you on the defensive end. So right now, it's just a matter of knocking down some of these wide open looks. Teague
spinning into the lane with the high kiss. Teague on the board.
Joel, believe it or not, Tajay Teague is 4th in the entire league in field goal percentage at 56%. So doesn't look like one of those guys that's got a smooth, super smooth stroke, but very efficient.
Cardinals in 15 points have 5 different scores. Allen on Tyler. Credit Jeremy Tyler for sticking with Allen. The guy has been playing organized basketball for 3 days off his suspension. That shot will not count. Lane got caught up in trying to find a help rather than just putting up a shot there.
Joe, I think you call it there. That was Jeremy Tyler, the terrific perimeter defense on Allen, and forced what is a coach's dream. Anytime you get that 30-second shot clock violation, that's what you preach.
8th turnover for Longwood, 7 for Ball State here in the first half.
Let's see if Ball State doesn't get Franco House involved.
Guarded by the smaller but a very good leaper, Jay-Sean Smith.
Coaches preach, be patient. The post traps are going to come. That time House did a very good job of being patient.
Air ball from Tyler. It will stay with Ball State, but 7 to shoot. Jason G's made an interesting substitution too. He's put in Obi Romeo, who's the only real big that Longwood has. 6'10", 245, and he was the guy that trapped. Kiapwe off the curl. He wanted a foul falling down. No dice, and it is Romeo with the rebound. The thing that worries you defensively for Ball State, Longwood does this very well. Just 1 of 6 from 3 today, but they came in 64th in the country. 38%.
No question about it. They can definitely shoot it. Again, Joe, I just think if you're Ball State, eventually the tide is going to turn on the offensive end. You've held Longwood to 15 points. They have to feel fortunate on the road. 11-hour bus trip. They're still in this game.
That's true. Little leg shuffle there. It's another turnover, the 9th for Longwood. Tied up at 15, a slow start in Muncie. All tied up at 15, under 4 immediate timeout here in the first half. It's been a slow start for both of these teams, but you've got to be happy if you're Longwood. You're hanging in the game without these 4 guys, all of them major contributors. Jason G told us before the game, the guys he's playing today, he was going to redshirt a lot of them. No can do.
Baptism by fire, and you got to credit Coach G, like we talked about, the 11-hour bus ride, but when you look at that screen, those were key contributors. A guy like Juan Munoz, a freshman point guard. Joe, he was a 6th-rated point guard in the state of North Carolina, a top 100 recruit. So, you know, credit Coach G, who's really been bringing in some really good players and was hoping to compete. And as you mentioned, they're having to have other guys step up. That's the mentality that he's tried to preach.
Weber looking for Ball State's first 3, and another offensive rebound. Teague missed the dunk. That kind of night so far for the Cardinals offensively. Kiapwe, nothing there. And a foul on Teague over the back. That is the first on Tajay Teague. Ball State's 8th. The other guy that was on that graphic there, David, though, was Kendrick Thompson, who was the only non-injury case on there, non-disciplinary personal reasons why he's not with the team. He leads the Big South in assist-to-turnover ratio right now, so that's a huge hit for them. Additionally, which is why Brian G started at point guard today. Lane at the free throw line, 1-1. And we've got a lane violation. Or do we get a push?
Looks like we got a foul.
And that's going to be on Isaiah Belton, first on the senior.
And Joel, Ball State is now 6 for 29 from the field, 0 for 9 behind the arc. So at some point, you would think the teams that's #1 in the Mid-American Conference in field goal percentage would start to turn things around offensively. Great pass.
Teague, little up and under there.
He knew the double team was coming, showed very good patience, good use of the bounce pass inside. I tell you, Teague's giving good energy right now off the bench.
3 from Belton, and the rebound down to Persons. That's what Tajay Teague is, though. James Whitford telling him you don't have to score, just do everything else. Like help Franco House. Ball State up by 4 again, and maybe grabbing the reins a little bit.
You look at Teague, Joe, he's doing a lot of things quietly. 4th in the MAC field goal percentage, 3rd in the MAC in blocks, 7th in the MAC in rebounds, leads all freshmen. And he's playing with a lot of energy tonight.
Did get beat over the top there. Chris Lane able to connect on the layup for his first points. If you want to get super wonky, defensive rebound percentage, the percent of defensive rebounds that you get while you're on the floor, 14th in the country, Tajay Teague, in that statistic. He checks out, and Trey Moses back in with 2 fouls.
Number 3, Darian Allen back in from Longwood.
Taylor Persons does a really good job of baiting opposing point guards into some of those cheap fouls. Sellers back in the game. 2 teams combined, 1 of 16 from three-point land. Let's see if Sean Sellers can't maybe get something going.
Kiapwe with the cut, and he scores under the swipe.
What do we talk about when you overplay on the wings? The backdoor cut is available. That time Kiapwe overplayed, went backdoor, nice bounce pass, led to the easy basket.
And they feed for Lane, guarded by the much bigger Moses. Stolen by Sellers. 10th turnover for Longwood. Blocked off the glass by Smith. Transition 3, no. And Lane pulls it down. Bodies all over. Thought Lane maybe got away with a foul. They do get him for the walk. But how about the block by Ja'Shawn Smith? Guy's got a 46-inch vertical leap.
Yeah, and you saw it in action there. I mean, from behind. Fantastic block by the freshman. And Joel, he's one of those guys that Coach G talked about. He had planned on maybe redshirting, and now, you know, he's thrown into the action. He's getting 20 minutes plus a game.
He was on SportsCenter top 10 last year for a play he didn't even make in a game. He recorded himself dunking from the free throw line. That made top 10. Didn't even have to be in a game. Person's on the spin, gets the swish. Person's still wanting calls. He's not getting them, but he's got his team up 6.
Just again elevating over the smaller G.
Smith this time to the cup, gets it to go. You see long arms for him there too.
Jason Smith with the bucket.
6 was the largest lead. Ball State now up by 4. You've got a timeout to burn here if you're James Whitford, but he'll play it out.
Longwood goes 2-3 zone first time tonight.
Person's wide open. And the shot clock is off, 18 seconds. Well, where does Longwood go? Try to make this a 1 or 2 point game at the break.
Well, I would think Allen, but at the very least, just want to make sure you take the last shot, not give Ball State another possession.
G not a scorer, short. And the ball tipped around to end the half. Probably not what Longwood was looking for, but it will take the 4-point deficit. Ball State leads at home, 23-19, our halftime total.